Today, we're diving into something pretty incredible: how artificial intelligence can give us a heads up on one of nature's most sudden and dangerous events, the cloudburst. Let's get right into it. So, just imagine this for a second. What if you had a full 24-hour warning before a storm so intense it could literally wash away roads and trigger landslides? What could you do at that time? Well, that's not some sci-fi question anymore. To really get why this is such a game changer, we first have to understand the sheer raw power we're dealing with here. So, what exactly is a cloudburst? Look, this isn't just a heavy rain shower. It's an absolutely overwhelming amount of water getting dumped in a tiny area over a super short period. The result? Devastating flash floods and landslides that can happen with practically zero warning. And that right there is why they've always been so notoriously difficult to predict using our traditional methods. This is exactly where technology has to step in. I mean, the challenge is enormous, but the tool we're about to look at might just be powerful enough to handle it. We're not just talking theory here. We're looking at a specific, real-world AI system that was designed to do what sounds almost impossible: see a cloudburst coming a whole day before it hits. It's a fantastic example of machine learning moving out of the lab and into real, life-saving applications. Okay, so how on earth does it actually work? Let's pop the hood, so to speak, and see what makes this AI forecaster really tick. What's just fascinating is the sheer complexity of it all. The AI isn't just looking at the clouds, right? It's analyzing 19 different weather factors all at once. Tiny shifts in temperature, humidity, wind, pressure. It's basically searching for a hidden recipe, that specific combination of ingredients that comes right before a cloudburst. A sudden pressure drop combined with a spike in humidity might be a huge tell, a signal that's totally invisible to us, but for the algorithm, it's as clear as day. This breaks down the whole process beautifully. First, you have to feed the beast, right? It needs a ton of data. In this case, almost 150,000 real weather records. Then, that raw data gets cleaned up and organized. This part is so crucial because you have to get rid of all the noise so the AI can find the actual signal. Third, the AI model gets trained on this massive, clean dataset. It starts to learn and recognize the super subtle signatures of a storm that's about to happen. And finally, you test it. You throw new data at it that it's never seen before to see just how good its predictions really are. So this secret sauce here is an algorithm called XGBoost. Now don't worry about the name. The best way to picture it is like a whole team of weather forecasters working together. The first one makes a guess. The next one looks at that guess, figures out where it went wrong, and makes a slightly better one. This keeps happening over and over, with each forecaster in the chain learning from the last one's mistakes until you end up with one super accurate final prediction. It's pretty genius. Okay, so the tech sounds really impressive, but the million-dollar question is, how well does it actually perform when it matters? Let's look at the results. And here it is. The system hits an accuracy of 84.43%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the chance that this AI can correctly spot a cloudburst event a full 24 hours before it happens. But what does that number really mean? Well, on one hand, it means we have an incredibly powerful early warning system. It can correctly flag more than 8 out of every 10 potential disasters. But, and this is really important, it's not a perfect crystal ball. It's a tool for probability. It's designed to tell authorities, hey, the chances of a dangerous event are very high, giving them the critical info they need to get ready. An 84% chance to prepare. That's a true game changer. And this is where all that code and data turns into something way more profound, keeping people safe and protecting entire communities. Seriously, think about the real-world impact of a 24-hour heads-up. Disaster management teams can be put on full alert. Emergency services can move resources into position before they're needed. Transportation officials can reroute flights, trains, and highway traffic away from areas that are about to get hit. Cities can even proactively manage their storm drains to prevent flooding. It turns what would have been a chaotic crisis into a manageable event. And the impact goes way beyond just immediate public safety. For farmers, a 24-hour warning could be enough time to protect vulnerable crops or move livestock to higher ground. In the tourism industry, it means being able to keep guests safe, maybe changing an itinerary and preventing a tragedy that could ruin a business's reputation for years. This is obviously a massive step forward for weather prediction, but the implications of this kind of technology are honestly so much bigger than just storms. You see, what we've just been looking at isn't just a cool weather project. It's a blueprint. It shows us a method, a repeatable process for training an AI to see hidden patterns in complex systems and give us a peek into the future. It's about transforming how we react to a crisis into being able to manage it proactively. The same exact idea could be used in so many other high-stakes situations. And that leads us to a final, big thought. If an AI can learn the subtle grammar of a brewing storm from 19 different variables, what other complex languages could we teach it to speak? The language of an impending supply chain collapse? The quiet whisper of a critical machine failure just before it happens? We've just seen AI predict the weather inside a storm cloud. The real question is, what other storms brewing in all our other complex systems will it help us see coming next? Thanks for tuning in.